Okay, what's up, y'all? Good morning, happy Sunday. Hope y'all having a good weekend so far. Morning Scone, presented by Boudreaux's. Glad to have you here. Let's see. First, let me begin by saying the great 4-year-old birthday party of 2018 was a smashing success. I think everyone had a really good time. And Erica last night just passed out in the bed at like 11 o'clock on top of the covers and just woke up. So, long day. Nick Torina, good morning. Bruce, Michael Moscona, good morning. John, Cole, Chuck, Carl, good morning. Happy Sunday to everybody. Hope y'all are having a good one. A few things we'll get to here in a little bit. The LSU jersey numbers have been released. I will completely mock that because it's the stupidest thing how people make that like headline news. Regis Prograis, the New Orleans boxer, we promoted that fight pretty heavily on ESPN Baton Rouge and ESPN New Orleans. He got a win last night, over Juan Jose Velasco, and Team USA, the collegiate national team. Their summer has ended, so they played Cuba yesterday. That series ended, so they played 15 games this summer. We'll talk about how they all did. So, Vance asked if we're ready for some SEC Media Days. Oh, when we get stories like LSU jersey numbers being released, you better believe I'm ready for SEC Media Days. For those who don't know, Wheels Up today, flying to Atlanta. I'm excited about Media Days moving to Atlanta. I think it's going to be a positive change for the event. It's going to have a bigger feel. The main room will be at the College Football Hall of Fame. And I hope just all together, moving the venue, moving the location, gives it a bigger feel. And maybe because of that, by extension, we end up with just better content, quite honestly, because that's the objective. So we'll see how it all plays out, but it's at the Omni, CNN Center, College Football Hall of Fame, all right there together in Atlanta. So I am excited about it. So LSU has their turn at the podium tomorrow, and I've already lined up a lot of stuff now. It's odd as the event has grown. SEC Media Days used to be. The first year we went was 2012, so we were even late to the party. But as a station, I mean, the first year we went, no booking was really done in advance on Radio Row. You'd show up and you just grab people. Hey, can I get 5 minutes? Can I get 10 minutes? Hey, can you come? That sort of thing where you're just hustling. Now, so much of that's done in advance. I mean, all this week I've been getting emails from, especially if you've had people on your show in the past, like Bill Hancock with the College Football Playoff, or Gary Stoken, who's the executive director of the Chick-fil-A Bowl, or the Peach Bowl, which I like to have him on every year. Stuff like that. Steve Shaw, who's the head of officiating. A lot of those guys that are standard guests, like they have schedulers now, and they try to reach out to get as much on the schedule as they can before the event even starts. So it's interesting how all that's already started to happen so far this week. So, excuse me as we sit. By the way, Drew is awake. He got me up at 6:13 a.m. But anyway, he should be here in a little bit. Trivia, good morning from Pensacola, Florida. I want to start doing that, man. I want y'all to start telling me where y'all are watching. I find that amazing. Scott, good morning. Justin Robinson, good morning. Carl, you said the replacement hosts were great last week. I don't know, man. I heard some of it. Kidding. I'm very, very grateful to everybody who filled in. Trust me, it's not, especially like if you're Hannah Griff or you're T-Bob and Jordy and you're doing another show already, and you have to do another day part, it's not an easy thing. So I'm very, very grateful. All joking aside. Tom, good morning from Dallas. Cole saw Fournette carry the Prograis belt at the fight. You know what was cool about that? Dale, Will, good morning. You're right. Media Days will not be a Bama pep rally anymore. I would assume not anyway. The thing about what was really cool about the Prograis fight last night, and so the main event, for those that don't know, Regis Prograis is a New Orleans boxer, and he fought last night a WBC title fight over Juan Jose Velasco, and he TKO'd him in the 8th round. It was impressive. I mean, Prograis just overwhelmed Velasco, and he's considered number one in his weight class. And like I don't know if you are, but I like fights. I like the fight game, be it boxing or MMA. Boxing has largely been void of elite talent of late, so MMA has really been what's been where the best athletes go now who want to be fighters. So anyway, it was really good last night to see a big time fight. So the Pacquiao fight last night was on ESPN, and sort of the undercard were different fights around. And so the main event in New Orleans, the Prograis fight, ended up being part of the undercard, building up to the Pacquiao fight. And Prograis was impressive, man. New Orleans kid, Tyrann Mathieu was there, and you mentioned Fournette was there. I mean, there were some star power there. And even still, as much as a football-obsessed society as we are, as much as basketball is growing, and the NBA is really on a growth curve, the thing is, man, there's nothing in sports in our society, in the U.S. still, that gets the attention like a prize fight, like a big-time prize fight. And it's why you'll have $100 million in pay-per-view buys, and why Conor McGregor and like even coming from MMA, when Conor fought Floyd, Conor pulled home $100 million on that fight. Like, that's one night of work, whereas for a quarterback in the NFL, that's a 5-6 year contract. So it's rare, but when you get them, they're really cool. And it was really neat to see a fight in New Orleans with a New Orleans guy on ESPN last night. It's funny, my dad just jumped on here, and I can remember as a kid, my dad would watch like Friday night fights. He'd watch boxing on ESPN, Friday night fights, and sometimes like we'd order pizza or something on a Friday night and like just sit and watch boxing. So I would really like to see the sport kind of have a resurgence. It feels like it won't, just because of obviously the repeated head trauma and everything we know now about brain damage and CTE and just the dangers of repeated blows to the head. And truthfully, as much as MMA may seem more brutal, the thing about it that's more sanitary actually is that you can finish fights. If you knock a guy down, finish it, it's over. Instead of knock the guy dizzy, put him down, let him get 10 seconds to regain himself and come back for more. It's an interesting test case. But anyway, it was cool to see a big fight in New Orleans last night. It was cool to see the stars come out, and it was really cool to see the New Orleans guy win. So congrats to Prograis. We'll get some of y'all's questions. I'm not going to go super long this morning. Trivia said 6:13 a.m. My waste of my morning. Robbie in West Monroe, good morning. Bob, good morning from Independence. Appreciate you for being there. Vance is watching 90 miles in the Gulf of Mexico. You offshore, or are you fishing this morning? Either way, I appreciate it very much, man. Thanks for being there. Jamie, good morning, Matt. Missed you on air this week. Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate that. I miss being on air, and I'm looking forward to being back tomorrow. I look forward to being back tomorrow from Atlanta. So we'll be on from SEC Football Media Days. Some of you have asked, and I thought this was a really cool idea too. If you have not subscribed, I do a podcast as well. It's not a sports podcast. It's more like kind of a media podcast, but not so much like ratings and stuff like that. It's more like kind of how the sausage is made podcast with radio and with media. And some of you have asked, because I've talked about it a couple times, like we've been planning literally for months to do the radio show along with TV from Radio Row. Very involved, had a lot of cooperation with the SEC office, with the Omni Hotel, because to put a TV show at CST's broadcast quality on Radio Row is taking a lot of doing. So our head IT guy, Joseph Rodriguez, who's coming with me and Jimmy Ott to SEC Media Days this year to be the on-site producer. I think I'm probably going to do a podcast with him maybe tonight that'll publish tomorrow. So just sort of how we put it all together. So here's hoping y'all watch, y'all really enjoy and listen from SEC Football Media Day starting tomorrow. So, Carl, who you got lined up for the guests tomorrow? Hope, Peter Burns, and Booger on the list. As of now, for sure, I have Bill Curry, former, obviously, SEC and Kentucky football coach Bill Curry, a college football analyst. Also, who else did I have tomorrow lined up? Bill Hancock is on Tuesday, the executive director of the college football playoff. I believe Gary Stokin is tomorrow from the Peach Bowl. And then, of course, LSU's day is tomorrow, so we're going to be very, very, very LSU heavy tomorrow, Monday, from SEC Football Media Days. John said it'll be good not to hear about soccer tomorrow. John, you won't hear about soccer for 4 more years, bro. That's the good news about the World Cup. Every 4 years it rolls around, and every 4 years people obsess over it for a month. I don't, but... And then it's gone and you don't have to worry about it for 4 more years. Kevin said you have Paul Wall and Nolan Cain lined up. Kevin, by the way, that would be Matt Cain who threw the perfect game, not Nolan Cain, who happens to be LSU's third base coach and recruiting coordinator. For those that missed it, Terrio on Friday filled in for me, and he had T-Bob sat in with him. And they had Paul Wall, who's a rapper, see, you got me saying it, and Matt Cain, who was a teammate with Terrios with the Giants, who threw a perfect game back in 2012. So I just happened, we were setting up for Drew's party, and I happened to have the show on, and so I saw those guys pop on, and so I started like screenshotting and Instagram and post on Facebook like, man, I've done radio with you for 5 years, and you wait till the day I'm gone to play this card, and you're pulling out Paul Wall and Matt Cain. But yeah, by the way, Drew's here. So Cole just said, I hear Drew. Hey, come see everybody. They want to see you. Come say hi.
Papa.
Big block. Hey. Okay, well come see.
Sure.
Truck.
Sure.
Seatbelt?
Hit.
Yep.
Shit.
You want to hear about baseball recruiting? Let's see. Where can we go to see recorded streams from Media Days? So, Tom, our AFR will be on CST, but if you have our station's app, the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app, at the bottom of the app, there's a Watch Live button. You tap Watch Live and you'll see us. Or you can go to the website, 1045ESPN.com, and the live stream is there embedded, like the video player is there embedded on the homepage as well. So, even if you don't have CST, you can still watch us. Hey, man, everybody saying good morning, Drew. You better come say hi to everybody. Hey, come say hi. By the way, my dad had an idea yesterday at Drew's birthday party. He said I should move oh, come on. Moo. He heard me say move. He thought it said moo. Moo. What does the cow say? Moo. You are... Hey, why don't you come over here and say hi to everybody?
No.
No more monkeys jumping on the bed, right? Okay. Me, you're going to see Mimi later.
Truck.
And Papa's truck, yes. And now he's gone. So sorry, he deked you. You didn't get to see him, you just got to hear him. So, one more thing, if y'all got some questions, fire away. Mark Kernan, good morning, good to see you there. The U.S. Collegiate National Team, speaking of Nolan Cain, or LSU baseball, coached by Maneri, they finished up their summer tour. They played 15 games. They had a series against Chinese Taipei, a series against Japan, and a series against Cuba. And so they played their last game yesterday against Cuba. They all kind of got whipped. They lost 12-3. But Zach Watson homered. I think he had 2 hits. Hang on. I'm sorry. He 2 for 3. Yeah, 2 for 3 with a walk and 2 runs scored, and had a solo homer in the 7th. So Zach Watson had a big day, which was cool to see. But altogether, man, Watson, Cabrera, Hess were just fantastic this summer with Team USA. And they won each of their series. So they won the series with Chinese Taipei, with Japan, with Cuba. So happy for those guys to get to go to play. It still stinks for Antoine Duplantis having gotten hurt. But for the other guys to get that experience to play international ball and to get to take a trip to Cuba was really cool. More importantly, to play really well. For Hess to have 3 really good starts. For Cabrera, to be the batting champion in the opening series of the summer, coming in on short notice, and for Watson to be a real steady, everyday starter. It was really cool, man. So I'm very happy for those guys. Happy for Paul Maneri. Glad that they represent the good old US of A and all that stuff. So Trivia asked, "What's up?" Hey, James Vadream, what's up, Jimmy? Good morning. Kevin Harrell, good morning. What's up with the LSU jerseys? It was more, the title I think was more tongue in cheek. So LSU every year they announce new jersey numbers like for the newcomers, and which is something that, I mean, obviously when you put out the roster you have to, but it's become sort of like this anticipated thing where people get all geeked, and then like the print media drives clicks because they list the new jersey numbers, and people who get off on that sort of stuff, excuse me, but so I was more teasing about it. But I'll run through them if you're interested. Kelvin Joseph will wear number 1. Joe Burrow will wear number 9. Terrence Alexander 11. Running back Chris Curry will wear 24. Damone Clark, the linebacker from Southern Lab, wore 35. Cole Tracy, the place kicker, the grad transfer, will wear 36. Nelson Jenkins will wear 47. Dantrezi Scott will wear 48. The linebacker, Dale Rosenthal, 51. Chasen Hines, 52. Jarrell Cherry, 55. Like, see what I mean? Like, who cares? Cameron Wire, 61. Kennan Jones, 82. I am interested to see Kennan Jones. Jeray Jenkins, 83. Those two guys they're not the ones that were the heralded wide receivers in this class, but both those guys are pretty big physical guys, man, and I'm really, really interested to see I'm interested to see what wide receivers emerge this year, because if Steve Ensminger is being honest in his disclosure, saying they're going to run 3 and 4 receiver sets, well, I mean, you feel good about Giles as one receiver, Stephon Sullivan's your leading returning receiver, but then you got a lot of talent, but not guys that have proven much. So does Terrace Marshall have a chance to come in right away and be a dude? Does Jones or Jenkins have a chance to come in right away and make a big impact? It'll be interesting to watch those receivers. Do you see guys like Drake Davis or D. Anderson finally emerge in that receiving group? So that, like, for me, I think going into fall camp, which we'll talk about obviously coming up, next month. I guess they report on August 3rd and begin practice August 4th. But for me, I think the big sort of interesting storyline, I think defensively they're going to be good. You got to figure out. I mean, everyone's going to want to watch Burrow, and I get that entirely. Like that, I shouldn't. That might seem disingenuous to look anywhere other than that. The quarterback, of course, is going to be what everybody looks at. But I'm not expecting one running back to emerge and be 1,000-yard back. I think they're going to have to do that by committee, and I think they'll figure out their best 5 offensive linemen. Like I think they've got. I think they're going to be too deep with really good players on the line, but without much depth. They're just going to have to figure that out. For this offense to go the way they're talking about it, they're going to have receivers play better and just somebody emerge. So who that is, I think, is kind of, for me, the really interesting storyline. Like a year ago, it was Russell Gage. Remember, I mean, a year ago, it was kind of like everyone was talking about, okay, it was the same conversation. Is it going to be Drake Davis? Is it going to be D. Anderson? Is it going to be Stephon Sullivan? Like, which of these big-time, physical receivers is going to emerge? Well, it ended up being like the short kid who signed as a cornerback and moved to wide receiver and now is in the NFL, by the way. You know what I mean? So it's like you never really know who is going to be the guy that emerges, but someone has to, and among those receivers. Let's see. Get some of y'all's questions here before we roll. Do about 5 more minutes here. Just get to questions. John asked any update on Duplantis. No, but he should be fine. I mean, there wasn't, as I understand, anything structurally serious. He was just going to need time. Cole, what's the thing you're looking forward to most of the new venue for Media Day? Honestly, and so this is selfish. I hope it's just space on Radio Row, which allows us a better setup for the TV broadcast. At the Winfrey, where we used to do, it was just like you'd walk into this lobby and there was this sort of breezeway that led to the hotel connected to a mall, and Radio Row was just that breezeway. And over time, Radio Row eventually extended into the mall. I mean, it just got so big, and tables were just like touching. So, I mean, you could literally be sitting. You would maybe have a couple of shoulder lengths apart from the next table, and it was cumbersome. And honestly, if we were trying to do the type of broadcast we're trying to do this year in Hoover, I think it would have been a serious challenge. But this year, it's an entire ballroom is Radio Row. So my guess is how they do it is we'll all just line the wall, you know. And I think we're gonna have more space. So I'm looking forward to that very much. Uh-oh. Nope. Faked you out. He came to the doorway and then went that way. Let's see. Rod, good morning. Blake Battaglia, good morning. Cole, do you think you're able to get Coach O to talk to you and answer questions? One-on-one, no. He didn't want to do it last year either. He said he would do it with Jimmy, but it just became a time crunch where he just had to grab the headset and he sat with me for about 3 minutes. But I don't suspect that'll happen this year. And the schedule of LSU going early in the day, I shouldn't say early, LSU going before my show, he'll probably get on live with Jimmy tomorrow, and then I'll re-air whatever that conversation goes like. But if I go into the radio room, not Radio Row, but the way that the breakout rooms go, everybody who comes through, every coach, every player, they all go into each room for their allotted 10 minutes. And so if I go into the radio room while he's in there for 10 minutes, I could ask whatever I want. That's no different than a press conference. I'd rather not do that. But as long as he's on our air, as long as the LSU head coach is on our air, I'm cool with it. And if it's with Jimmy, that's what we have to do. Fine. I mean, it's like I know when I've been on vacation the last 2 times, I've been away the last 2 times. You know, Ed's come on the show with the OTB guys, and then with Gordy filling in. But you know what? Fine, just come on the show. It's if you don't want to talk to me, fine. Come on with it's beneficial to the audience. Like I'd rather have that for the audience. Vance, still think LSU baseball will have a shot, even though we lost Terang. Yes, Terang would have been the cherry on top of the wedding cake with icing and a scoop of ice cream on the side. He would have just been the cherry on top. They're going to be really, really good. Hey, bud, you want to come say hi? You haven't come say hi to everybody yet. Hey, come see Daddy.
No.
Yay, you're going to come say hi to everybody? Oh, no, you can't do fussy face if you're going to say hi to everybody. All right. Bye-bye. Yay, say good morning. Say hi, good morning, everybody. Say good morning, everybody. What you want? What?
Mama.
Mama? You saw Mama yesterday. What does Mama say? Psst.
Mama.
What? Clap hands?
Mama.
Clap hands for Mama comes home. For Maul? Clap hands for Maul comes home. Who's on the TV? Who do you see on the TV? Is that Drew? Or is that Daddy? Is that Daddy or is that Drew? Who do you see? Who do you see?
Daddy.
Daddy. You see Daddy. Yes. I love you. Okay, do you want to go walk in the other room now? Darren says hi. Hi, Drew. Oh, good morning, EJ. Oh, look, do you see Drew on the TV now?
Mama.
Mama. No, you don't see Mama. Ma. I love you. Love you. Okay, look. Why don't you go watch Mickey, and Daddy will come in there in just 1 minute, okay?
Sure.
Shrug. What? What, bud? I don't... Babe, I don't know what that is. Why are you turning my hands? Daddy. Manamana. Mimi's going to do Manamana with you when she comes over later today. So, yep. Good thing I didn't flip the camera. Yeah. All right, let's see. I wanted to get 1 or 2 more in here. Drew is the man. Thanks, Carl. I think there was one more question. Scroll back and find it. Maybe not. Oh, yeah, here we go. I thought there were a few more. Who starts, Phillips or Taylor? Last year it was Taylor. He was on the inside track, and I think Phillips passed him up. I think Phillips. But I think they're all going to play a lot. I think they really like their inside backers. 3 players are you most looking forward to speaking with? Probably Rashard Lawrence. Foster Morrow, by the way, is interning at our radio station this summer. And Devin White's going to be a first-round pick. I think... Hi, sweet. home. Yeah, I guess Richard. I wish Joe Burrow was coming. Or one of the running backs. I understand why they're bringing the guys they are, but it's basically become go safe, Anyway, do you think Patrick Queen will have more of an impact? Absolutely. They like Taylor, Phillips, and Queen. They like them all. Let's see. Anything else? We'll roll. Cherish these moments. It does go fast. So, all right, y'all. I think we're gonna bounce. So, y'all have a great day. I'm heading to Atlanta today. So, SEC Football Media Days tomorrow. Of course, I will check out all my social media. If obviously you're here on Facebook, but follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. I'll be posting the next 4 or 5 days through Thursday. Just a ton of everything. People I see, one-on-one stuff, exclusive stuff that maybe we don't get on, make on the air. It'll all be here. So make sure you're following, you're setting notifications and all that stuff. And make sure you go buy some Boudreaux. Matter of fact, yesterday at Drew's party, my dad was like, hey, who I think is watching right, he's like, hey, man, how about some Boudreaux? So I broke out the margarita mix. I had a bottle open in the fridge, and the Boudreaux and the tequila went like that. So y'all check it out. It's fantastic stuff up in Baton Rouge or in Homa at Canada's. Check it out in Baton Rouge at Alexander's, Calandro's, Calvin's, and Mid-City Wine and Craft. BoudreauxMix.com. And check out all of their social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All right, y'all. Have a great day. I will talk to you tomorrow from beautiful Atlanta, Georgia, SEC Football Media Days. See you then.